Welcome back, guys. Back at it again with another reactions video. My name is Angel. Today I'm going to be reacting to a video of Stephen A. Smith and Mad Dog debating whether Steph Curry or Magic Johnson is the greatest point guard of all time. Let me know down in the comments who you guys think is the greatest point guard of all time. My personal and humble opinion, I think it's Magic Johnson, although it is a close debate. Let's check and see what Stephen A. Smith and Mad Dog have to say about, who's the greatest point guard of all time.
Johnson is the only player who I've seen, there's only two or three of them, who could dominate a game at that position without putting the ball in the basket. Curry doesn't score, he's not a factor. Magic can go in there, take two shots, and dominate a game. His rebounding, his passing, his fast break ability. Magic, he's 6'8". Magic Johnson, and I love Curry. And we all know he's a wonderful shooter, but he is not Magic Johnson. I'm sorry.
I love Curry
he's not
too.
in the same discussion. That is blasphemy to put him in Magic Johnson's category. Magic Johnson? Magic Johnson, you could argue, is a top 3-4 player in the history of the National Basketball Association. Magic Johnson, and again, what is the definition of a point guard? You know what the definition? Bob Cousy always used to say this, the great Bob Cousy. When you cross midcourt, your first objective is to get a teammate a good shot.
Yep.
Magic Johnson, when he crossed midcourt, his first objective was to get a teammate a good shot. Curry, in a lot of ways, his first objective is what 35-footer I can make. And there's nothing wrong with that. But that's different than being a point guard. Magic's job
more like
is
a shooting guard.
And one other thing, running a fast break, it's not even discussable.
Yeah.
Curry, nobody, and I watched this since 1960s, nobody ran a fast break in the NBA at that position better than him. And
better than Magic.
He rebounded the ball. He's 6'8", not 6'2". He is 6'8".
Magic?
Magic.
6'9".
Even better. Thank you, Steve. You helped my argument. Listen, I love Curry, not as much as he does, as we know, but there is nobody in the history of the NBA who is a better point guard, and he won 5 championships, and a college championship, than Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
Okay, let me say this, because we've made news because we had a list, and I talked about Steph Curry, maybe the greatest point guard ever, and all of this other stuff, okay? This is not a debate. I'm just going to educate the viewers out there just like Doggy just did. And I'm gonna pay tribute to you, the historian that you are, to your colleague at Mad Dog Radio, Eddie Johnson, who was filling in the morning.
Good guy. He's very
good guy.
Excellent.
Terrific NBA player throughout. I mean, he was giving lessons this morning on this very topic.
Oh, he was. Good job, Steve. I didn't
because
see that.
he was, he brought you up too. He didn't name you by name, but everybody knew who he was talking about, right? And he was talking about you, and he was like, he said, because he knows his history. And Magic Johnson, he said, is not even close. Magic Johnson's the greatest point guard in NBA history. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about, blah, 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 blah. And he was educating folks and uttered the word facilitator, and I'll get to that in a second. But before I do, I have to read you a text that I received this morning at 5:54 a.m. Good morning, sir. Although greatest of anything is always a debate, I beg to differ on greatest point guard of all time with what you said. Magic Johnson is easily the best point guard of all time. Steph Curry is very close, but not in front of Magic. You must define point guard to really have a serious debate.
Yeah.
Steph Curry is by far the best shooter of all time. Yes, his movement has created many shots for his teammates. He's a career 43% three-point shooter. But Magic Johnson invented the triple-double. Not true invented, but makes it more noticeable in terms of the impact on the game. It's a point guard stat, to be honest. Magic was the best. We can go on, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you get the point. By the way, Magic has 5 NBA championships.
Wow.
That quote this morning at 5:45 was from Mr. Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Wow, how about that?
And he asked me to read it on the air. He said, I'm not backing up for it. He said, I'm tired of this argument about Magic Johnson not being the best point guard in the history of the game. He is the best point guard in the history of basketball. That is from Michael Jordan. Having said all of that, here's what I want people like you and Eddie to understand, not disagreeing with you, because I get what y'all are saying. When I bring up Steph Curry and I compare him to Magic Johnson, I defer to y'all when you talk the true definition of what a point guard is, which is a facilitator, facilitating the abilities for others around you to score.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
What
sir.
I'm thinking about is the modern day game and the word impact. And I'm thinking about Steph Curry's extraordinary marksmanship and his movement without the basketball and how it forces a defense to have their head on a swivel. And as a result, it facilitates others like Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole when he was there to do what Worthy, Byron Scott, and others were able to do statistically for the Los Angeles Lakers while Magic Johnson was a point guard. So Eddie Johnson, if you're listening, you're absolutely right. Mad Dog Russo, you're absolutely right. If you're leaning on the true definition of a point guard, there is only one, and it is Irvin Magic Johnson. But I'm thinking impact, the impact that you have in an offense. Yes, Steph Curry is really running around looking for the ball, but the offense evolves around him. He's listed as a point guard. The offense evolves around him. It's just half the time the ball ends up in his hands. He shoots about 9 3-pointers a game. Eddie Johnson was pointing out this morning how the great Dale Ellis, he only shot like 1 or 2. If Dale Ellis shot 9 a game, he might have been just as good as Steph Curry. So Eddie Johnson was given an education. And anybody who was listening should learn. And what you just said, nothing to dispute. But the way the game is now and the kind of impact Steph Curry has, what I'm saying is I can make an argument that in terms of on and offense, Steph Curry has had just as significant of an impact as Magic based on.
That concludes that video of the debate of Steph Curry and Magic Johnson from Stephen A. Smith and Mad Dog. But like, yeah, it depends on what era or what generation you're born and when if you've ever watched Magic Johnson play, where you would more be leaning to in the debate. But Steph Curry is more like a shooting guard. He's more like a shooting guard. He plays like a role like Reggie Miller, if you guys ever watched Reggie Miller play, or Ray Allen. He just runs around and he opens. He does open up, and he does have one of the biggest impacts in NBA history. He changed the game, for better or for worse, some people may say. But as far as point guard on the team, it sounds very silly to say, but Draymond is kind of the point guard of the team. Sometimes he's bringing the ball up, after a missed shot or they come back down and stuff, and they run the offense through him, and Klay and Steph are, running around, and Draymond Green's passing the ball. That's why Draymond Green's so important in that specific team, in that specific system. Obviously Steph Curry still gets assists and stuff, and he's very lethal from 3-point range anywhere on the court, literally. But as far as like point guard, yeah, it's Magic Johnson without it's not even a debate. It's not even close. But I mean, to each their own opinion. It's a very fun topic to talk about, but because they're both amazing players. Now you're just, nitpicking here and there, but Magic really didn't have a weakness, and you heard the GOAT, Michael Jordan. He said it. It's not a debate. Magic Johnson, 5 beats 4. It is what it is. So that concludes the video. If you like the content, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and if there's any more videos you would like me to react to, maybe some Steph Curry or Magic Johnson videos, let me know down in the comments. All that being said, see you on the next video.